Okay, let's talk about how to start working in Australia. If you're looking to move to Australia and start working, one of the best visa options that you have before you is called a working holiday. A working holiday visa allows you to work in Australia for up to 1 year. The only main limitation is that you cannot work with an employer for more than 6 months. So after 6 months, you kind of need to change jobs. If you want to stay and extend your visa for up to 2 years, you need to do 3 months of farm work. The best advice I can give you is if you know you want to stay the 2 years from the get-go and you don't want to do a serious job, maybe do your farm work as soon as you get there. This way it's out of the way, you'll get to make a lot of friends instantly, and also you'll be exposed to sort of more people and potentially more opportunities thereafter. The working holiday visa is actually really cheap. I can't remember how much it is, but it's only a couple $100s. The ticket to Australia is not so cheap, so it'll help you kind of recover your money faster. Some of the farm work people actually don't pay you any money, but you probably should work with someone who does. I actually don't know any of the links or how to find those jobs, but I know they have them, like you can just Google them. I actually didn't do any of the farm work, even though I should have, because the option that I chose to take wound up costing a lot more money. So it probably would have been the better option at the time, but I was more keen to start working in my own field, and I'm a personal trainer. Now, with that, one thing that I want to mention is if you're looking to move to Australia in a specific career or a specific kind of professional pathway, make sure it's recognized, because my certification from Canada was actually not recognized immediately, and it took me a while to kind of go through the process and make sure that it was up to standards with Australian ones. And that kind of was pretty exhausting, and I probably could have done farm work in the time, or I could have done that while I was here, but I didn't. So make sure your qualification is registered and recognized in Australia, and if it isn't, probably do that sort of grunt work before you go there so you can start working immediately. If you're into more serious kind of work, you're a doctor or an engineer or a banker or all those funky things, you can actually get much better work, much better wages, and you can even get sponsored in Australia and gain residency status, which is pretty cool. So just make sure those skills are also recognized, and they actually have the Australian government, the website or immigration or whatever, they actually have a list of skilled occupations that they truly value, and if you're on that list, you can actually get a job that will pay for your visa and all that stuff, and it's a really great option as well. I'll put the link to the immigration sort of website down below, and you can kind of check it out. But that's another option for you as well. The working holiday is actually a lot of fun because you get to meet so many people, especially if you're young or young at heart, and you'll make a lot of friends and you gain a lot of exposure. The places that most people go, I didn't realize I was doing that. The places that most people go in Australia, if you're traveling, that I can recommend is on the East Coast, there's Queensland, there's Sydney, there's Melbourne, and then there's Canberra and Adelaide and Northern Territories and all that stuff. But no one really goes there. There aren't a lot of people there, so I think it depends on what you're looking for. I would definitely recommend going to one of the bigger cities because you're close to the beaches, you're meeting so many more people, you're exposed to so much more. On the West Coast, there's only really Perth, which is kind of the Alberta of Canada, which is it's a mining industry, but it's supposed to be really beautiful, and it's along the coast as well, so the beaches are supposed to be great. And then obviously there's the surplus of sharks and spiders everywhere. So those are some options to think about. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you, but what I'm going to do is as we go on in every sort of video, I'm going to keep talking about different things, and like I said, please keep sending me your questions and I'll make sure I answer them, you know, as we go or accordingly or whatever, because I do want to help people out, and I feel like the Australian immigration stuff is so like hectic, and it can kind of like suck the energy out of you because it's very different, and especially if you're coming from like, you know, an English speaking developed country, you don't realize that it's actually going to be quite a bit of a process to try and get your foot in the door as far as being in Australia is concerned. So just keep checking back, and I'll be posting videos, like I said, every Monday and Wednesday. So I'm going to talk about like rent structure and all that sort of stuff. So just kind of get you introduced to everything little by little, but in very short videos. And then the more we go along, the more I'll answer more questions. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the land down under. Take care. Bye.